taking this out of order, still Article 1 of the Constitution, but I'm going to move down to Section 9. Thanks to Glenn Beck, who, by the way, really needs to just shut the hell up and go into the insurance business. I'm going to have to explain this to everyone, including those such as Mr. Beck, whose brains may be damaged by adult alcohol syndrome. Section 9, Paragraph 1, Article 1, reads, the migration of or importation of such persons as any of the states now existing shall think proper to admit shall not be prohibited by the Congress prior to the year 1808, but a tax or duty may be imposed upon such importation not exceeding $10 for each person. I'm sure you can find what Mr. Beck said. It's bound to be on YouTube. I am not going to waste my time repeating it. He thought it applied to immigration. I would now like to call your attention to two words. Duty and importation. Duty and importation. That's not immigration. It sounds like a 20-year grace period on immigration to states. Technically, I guess if you want to read it that way you could, but what the eloquent language is actually saying is that slaves could be legally imported until at least 1808. Congress did not have the power to restrict slave imports until 1808. Look at the word duty. The duty, like goes in, imposed on cars and furniture. Importation, like equipment, animals. I'm talking about the importation of people from Africa, or from the Caribbean. How could you mistake that for immigration? Second paragraph. The privilege of a writ of habeas corpus shall not be suspended unless when in cases of rebellion or invasion the public safety may require it. Okay, now this is the one George W. Bush didn't get. This is the one Alberto Gonzalez apparently didn't get. And it's one sentence. What is habeas corpus? Simply put, it's the right not to be detained indefinitely. In some nations, the government arrests or imprisons you, then they think up a charge which hopefully carries a death sentence, hopefully from their point of view. In civilized nations with habeas corpus, there exists the right to challenge your arrest and detention. You have the right to appear before a judge on the charge for which you've been arrested. You have the right to obtain an attorney to get you free from jail. If you reread this sentence, you'll notice that Article 1, Section 9 allows suspension of habeas in cases of rebellion or invasion. You can't just read it as unless the public safety may require it. It's unless when in cases of rebellion or invasion the public safety may require it. Because, hey, anybody could just say, well, the public safety is threatened. We're raising the threat level to red. Everyone will be arrested who looks weird. No, you cannot do that. So a recent effort to curtail habeas and the 2006 Military Commissions Act failed to pass constitutional muster. And why the prisoners at Guantanamo received access to lawyers and courts. Because we're not Iran. No bill of attainder or ex post facto law should be passed. Break it down here. Bill of attainder, legislative action targeting one person. For instance, if the Republican-led Congress viewed Fahrenheit 9/11 from its release, then passed a joint resolution authorizing the arrest of Michael Moore and charges of sedition and treason, that would have been a bill of attainder. That's unconstitutional. You can't just target one person. You can't make it illegal to be a person. a specific person. An ex post facto law, just that, it's a law passed after the fact. I'll give you two examples, one obvious, the other not so much. Say it's legal to have a machine gun. You buy one, you enjoy the hell out of it, then you sell it. 6 months later, it becomes illegal to own a machine gun. You can't be arrested for owning a machine gun. It was legal when you owned it. Try to buy another, you can be arrested then because it's illegal. Example 2. You committed a murder in Oregon before they reinstated the death penalty. And you've just now been captured. You cannot be executed. Murder wasn't a capital offense in Oregon when you killed that person. So the state can't be, they can't pursue the death penalty. You can't be executed. Changes in law will always benefit the accused or the defendant. If the penalty is reduced and you get a new trial, you go on trial with the lighter penalty. If the penalty is increased and you either get a new trial or you just now arrested, you have to be tried under the laws at the time of that crime. No capitation or other direct tax shall be laid unless in proportion to the census or enumeration herein before directed to be taken. Simply put, no taxation without representation. Your taxes go up, so does your representation. Now, before you guys start another tea party, please remember this is the old system. It doesn't apply anymore. It has nothing to do with the income taxes authorized under the 16th Amendment, 1913. And the number of representatives was capped at the end of FDR's second term at 435. Reps aren't at it anymore. They just shuffled around like a ball in a shell game. That's it. No tax or duty shall be laid on articles exported from any state. Pretty self-explanatory. If your company in your state makes ketchup, your state can't impose a 35% duty on Heinz ketchup. Purposes of tariffs, duties, imports, taxes, etc., the United States is essentially one big state. No preference shall be given to any regulation of commerce or revenue to the ports of one state over those of another. Nor shall vessels bound to or from one state be obliged to enter, clear, or pay duties in another. Same thing. You ship something from Los Angeles to the port of New York, you're not going to pay duties. No money should be drawn from the Treasury, but in consequence of appropriations made by law. And a regular statement and account of the receipts and expenditures of all public money should be published from time to time. Simply put, only Congress may write checks on the Treasury, and the ledger is open to the public. It's their money. No title of nobility should be granted by the United States. No person holding an office, profit, or trust under them shall, without the consent of Congress, accept any present emolument, office, or title of any kind whatsoever from any king, prince, or foreign state. That's what's called an honorary knighthood. You're not allowed to accept a real one. If you want to hold public office, you can't be a knight, you can't be a baron, you can't be a duke. Framers just had a thing about conflicting loyalties. I don't blame them. The stated Congress may vote to allow an American to accept the title of nobility or payment from a foreign government, but do not expect it. You have a better chance of passing health care reform.